And right now at 8 o'clock, a former Chicago leader's plan to hold ICE accountable as tensions grow over that deadly shooting involving agents in Minnesota.
The Senate looks to block military action in Venezuela as the U.S. moves to control its oil sales.
Plus, the Bears get ready for a rivalry rematch and their biggest game of the year.
And so the question now is whether the warmer temperatures will stick around for people heading to Soldier Field.
I'm giving it biggest game of the decade so far. We're in 2026 now. All right, Caitlin, Cody, how are we doing outside for Thursday, and what is it going to look like for Bears fans headed out to Soldier Field on Saturday?
Well, we have a busy day today of weather. By Saturday, it's going to be chilly, and we have the chance for a rain snow mix turning over to the potential for snow by Saturday evening. Light snow expected, though. But talking about today, temperatures are going to be mild. We're climbing into the mid and upper 50s later on this evening. But the chance for rain is moving in by this afternoon, and we could see a few gusty or thunderstorms this evening. So right now it is quiet. We do have clouds in place. We are going to have that potential for rain after lunchtime on through this evening. Temperatures, though, right now sitting in the 40s for many of us. It's comfortable. 47 degrees at O'Hare and 42 at the lakefront, 45 in Gary, 37 from DeKalb to 39 at LaSalle. Our cameras are shaking out there. We are going to have winds gusting to about 15 to 25 miles per hour today. With the exception, of course, of those thunderstorms that could be rolling through this evening. Those could carry damaging winds. We'll take a look at the timing of that wet weather and that all-important Bears forecast ahead.
Okay, very good. Caitlin, thank you. Developing this morning, the city of Minneapolis is on edge after an ICE officer shot and killed a woman.
The Department of Homeland Security has sent thousands of officers to the city for what it says is its largest immigration enforcement operation ever.
Now, this shooting was caught on camera. An officer approaches an SUV blocking a road. When they try to grab the door handle, the car starts to pull forward. That is when a different officer standing in front of the vehicle fired 2 shots, killing 37-year-old Renee Good. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristen Noem says this was an act of domestic terrorism by the woman. The city's mayor says otherwise.
This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, this was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is now putting the state's National Guard on standby, he says, in case of unrest.
And that shooting has sparked protests all across the country, including in Little Village here in Chicago, a neighborhood that has also seen heavy ICE enforcement. Hundreds gathered to call for action. The community is demanding a full independent investigation into that killing, immediate accountability for all officials responsible, and they say they want transparency from the Department of Homeland Security and ICE regarding the use of force and operational conduct. And the immigration crackdown in Chicago is also under scrutiny this morning.
Roseanne Taya is live to explain a new initiative from former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. And Roseanne is live now this morning downtown. Roseanne?
Good morning. The former mayor will launch her ICE accountability project today, but it comes as the nation is focused on the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis. And Lightfoot weighed in on that last night with Paris Schutz with this caveat that a video is just a snapshot in time that does not provide full context. Here's the mayor.
They could have easily done the right thing, gotten an arrest warrant, apprehended the person. But I can't see on that little snippet of video, again, with the caveat, any justification whatsoever for shooting into that vehicle as the individual was trying to flee.
Right. Again, as the mayor focuses on the tactics of ICE agents in Chicago and Minneapolis, well, particularly in Chicago, her focus is on documenting each and every incident. Now, speaking about Minneapolis, she went on to say that they had the license plate number of the vehicle, that they could have, as you heard, gone and made an arrest. She says police departments were prohibited from shooting at moving vehicles back in the 80s and 90s, and it's because of just that kind of thing that you saw happen in Minneapolis. So once again, we're going to this news conference at 10 a.m. The former mayor will be talking about her ICE accountability project, and we'll have more details for you. in the coming hours. Back to you.
Okay, keep us posted. Roseanne, thank you so much. And new this morning, President Donald Trump says he expects the U.S. to maintain direct oversight of Venezuela for years. Those comments to the New York Times follow the announcement that his administration plans to effectively assume control of selling Venezuelan oil. The U.S. seized 2 sanctioned oil tankers on Wednesday, one in the North Atlantic, the other in the Caribbean. The Senate is preparing to vote on a war powers resolution. If this is passed, it would block the U.S. from further military action against Venezuela without congressional approval.
Back here at home, we are learning new details in the search for missing Chicago Public Schools teacher Linda Brown. Her husband tells us police are searching the area near her car where it was found. It was actually found on Wednesday. The 53-year-old CPS special education teacher was reported missing over the weekend. This is day 5 of the search. The family says she has a history of mental illness but has never disappeared like this. A new report from the CPS Inspector General finds massive fraud inside Chicago Public Schools. That includes $1 million in fines that CPS agreed to pay the government after admitting to submitting fraudulent grant applications. The report also highlights a former CPS principal who left to run a charter school in Indiana. They defrauded the district out of nearly $89,000 in a phony billing scheme.
With a district of this size, with a budget of this size, history has shown there's plenty of opportunities for abuse and wrongdoing, and that's why it's important that we work these cases.
The Inspector General's office received more than 1,200 fraud complaints in total.
A Chicago area father is suing the popular online game Roblox. He says the game failed to protect his 9-year-old son from being groomed and then sexually exploited. The lawsuit claims that a predator contacted the boy, pretended to be another kid, and then built trust over time. He then convinced that boy to send in explicit photos. In a statement, Roblox says it is deeply troubled by any incident that endangers any user. The company says it wants to set the bar for online safety, which is why it claims its policies are purposely stricter than those found on other platforms.
Chicago's so-called SNAP curfew ordinance has been given new life. The City Council Public Safety Committee voted in favor of a revised ordinance sponsored by 2nd Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins. It would give the police superintendent the power to declare a curfew at any time in any place to stop a violent teen gathering. He would have to get approval from the mayor's office. That is the caveat. The ordinance now moves to the full city council.
All right, 8:07. Caitlin, you promised a Saturday night Bears-Packers forecast during your last hit. Are you going to deliver it this time?
I'll get it to you right now, okay? Temperatures are going to be right around 30 for Saturday evening. We're talking about 7 o'clock-ish for the start time. Feel like temperature-ish about 30, okay? So that's how you have to dress. Upper 20s, low 30s. Now, the potential for precipitation is there. We could see a rain-snow mix, turning over to the potential for snow Saturday evening, Saturday night. So it could get slick, but we don't expect much for accumulating snowfall on Saturday. In fact, under an inch is expected. In the meantime, today, we're not talking about snow, but we are talking about the chance for some strong thunderstorms, believe it or not. Temperatures right now sitting in the 40s for most. I do see a few of us holding on to the upper 30s, like in DeKalb, 38 degrees. 40, though, in Aurora, 43 at the lakefront, 45 in Gary. So the temperatures, they feel pretty good this morning. We have a little bit of a gusty wind up to 10 to 15 miles per hour. That could approach 20 miles per hour. But later on this evening, around 6 to 10 p.m., we have the potential for some gusty, damaging winds above 50 miles per hour with thunderstorms that will be rolling through. So with that, the best potential is going to be where you see this green color. You can see especially from locations like I-80 point south. And with that, we could also have some heavy rainfall. And so ponding and puddling is possible this evening into tonight. Temperature-wise, though, it is going to be a warm one, climbing into the 50s by lunchtime. Highs in the mid to upper 50s tonight, and then tomorrow temperatures are going in the opposite direction. So I'll time out this chance for rain and storms coming up next time you see me.
Thank you, Caitlin. And this weekend it is win all or go home with nothing for the Chicago Bears. We're going to look at what could make or break their matchup with the Packers.
More weather coverage next as well, but first, as we head to break, here's a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We'll be right back.
What are you girls doing?
We're doing all the heating, plumbing, and electric around here.
All right, I know you girls know stuff, but let's leave it to our trusted local experts. Let's call Four Seasons.
It's about time you figured it out.
Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, air duct cleaning, or generators, you can always trust Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Living your life at its fullest means staying connected.
All right, 8-12, and it's an understatement to say that there's a lot on the line this Saturday for the Bears. They are taking on the Packers at Soldier Field for the wild card round. It'll be just the third time these two meet in the playoffs. Barstool Eddie here to talk about this big rematch. Good morning to you, Eddie.
Good morning, Anthony. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm a little nervous here, as I always get before big games. I want to start off by asking you about the rivalry itself. This thing has been really one-sided for most of my lifetime here with Brett Favre, then Aaron Rodgers. Is there actually bad blood now, once again, between these two teams?
Yeah, I think for a while there, we were just their little brother, and they'd pat us on the head, and we'd go to bed, and we'd, call it a night. But I think when you have the last four games, they've come down to the last possession, and obviously the Bears have won two of them. I think this rivalry's back on, and I think, letting it commence here, the playoff game is going to be a big part of, making this thing a real rivalry again, not just like little brother, big brother kind of thing, like I said.
Yeah. All right. We got a couple players, key ones, coming back from injury, we are told. Rome Odunze on the offensive side, Kyler Gordon on the defensive side. Talk about how that could make a difference on both sides of the football for the Bears on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Gordon's huge. As you can see, the Bears secondary hasn't exactly had their best run at it. A lot of that is because of the pass rush, too. But regardless, that 49ers game, the 49ers put up 1 billion points. And, the Lions got off to a hot start on us. So getting Kyler Gordon back is massive. It's really like the kind of finishing piece that we hope that's going to fix everything. I'm not totally convinced, but hey, we're going to hope that that's it. But it is a big comeback for sure.
How big of a difference will Rome Odunze make? Do you think he's going to be full steam here on the offensive side of the football?
I don't know. I'm always nervous when a guy's got a fracture, right? I think I don't think they'd play him if he wasn't good to go. Obviously, he's their number one wide receiver. He's been so all season, so it's a big factor that slots everyone kind of back in their proper place. So Rome is a big factor for sure.
How big of a deal do you think home field advantage is going to be for this particular matchup? I'm guessing a lot of Packers fans are going to make the drive down from over the Cheddar Curtain, but do you think it's a game changer here, being at Soldier Field?
Yeah, I think it's big. I think, listen, from what it sounds like, the way Packers fans are sounding, it sounds like they've kind of thrown in the towel a little bit on this season. After Micah Parsons went down, after had some other injuries, they're kind of playing this as a lost season. So I'm very curious to see how well they travel. Regardless, Soldier Field's been rocking all year, so I fully expect that to be a Bears heavy crowd since it's our home turf and because everyone's rallying around this team right now.
Bears have feels like they get off to a slow start and kind of kick things up there, causing us all heart attacks in the fourth quarter. What is the main thing that you would like to see different on Saturday night than what we've seen these last two losing games by the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Like, the defense has got to get off the field, and the offense has got to make more out of their opportunities early in the game. We can't be seeing I think for the second time we played the Packers this season, the Bears only had the ball 3 times in the first half. That can't happen. Defense has got to get off the field. Offenses have to make more of their possessions. So I think that's a big part. We got to start early. I can't do these heart attack games anymore. I can't do them, Anthony. They're too much.
I know, it's a lot. All right, last question before we let you go. Barstool Eddie, 4 months ago, let's call it late August, mid-August. Did you expect the Bears to be where they are today in terms of their regular season record, in terms of their playoff outlook?
Not a chance. I mean, we're sitting there after that week 2 against the Lions. We gave up 50 points. I was downstairs in my basement. I was contemplating everything, and there's no way I thought this team would be where they're at. So it's been a welcome surprise, and I'm really, really proud of how this team's kind of stuck it out and overcome a lot of doubters. So it's been a fun year, and it continues. Like Ben Johnson said, if you're not thinking about playing for 5 more weeks, get out of the locker room. This is the road doesn't end Saturday.
Love it. Barstool Eddie, let's check in next week, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. 8:16. And you can watch the Bears-Packers Saturday night, 7 p.m. right here on Fox Chicago. Our coverage begins with the Bears Game Day Live at 12:30. Stay with us after the game. We've got full post-game coverage right here on your home for the Bears. And, Natalie, I also want to kind of mention, we've been talking about the Wiener Circle and the little challenges that they tend to, issue. Ben Johnson with his shirt off. They put another one out there.
They have.
Yeah, indeed. Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator, if he does the Macarena after the Bears win on Saturday, we're talking about more free hot dogs.
Has he been known to dance?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They get creative in the social media department at Wiener Circle, and they've issued the full challenge. They tweeted. They in fact tweeted that out. So we'll see if we're
keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, 8:17 now this morning, and we are following several top stories at this hour, including this. Tensions growing in Minneapolis after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman there.
Federal officials say 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good tried to run the agent over with her SUV yesterday. They say the agent acted in self-defense, but there are conflicting narratives that are causing so much tension, not just in Minneapolis, but nationwide today. The city's mayor saying that the agent is the one who acted recklessly.
Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is launching an ICE accountability project. That's what she calls it. The project's goal is to track and report illegal actions by federal immigration agents that happened during Operation Midway Blitz, and then it will attempt to unmask those agents.
President Donald Trump says he expects the U.S. to maintain direct oversight of Venezuela for years. His comments to the New York Times follow the announcement that his administration plans to effectively assume control of selling Venezuela's oil. The U.S. seized 2 sanctioned oil tankers on Wednesday, one of them in the North Atlantic, the other in the Caribbean. All right, 8:18, let's send things over to Caitlin Cody for a look at how Thursday is looking for us. I know Mike Kaplan was talking about the possibility of thunderstorms a little later today.
Can you believe it? Thunderstorms.
January.
Yes, this evening between about 6 and 10, we have the chance for some gusty winds along with thunderstorms. But this morning, it is beautiful. Yes, we have some clouds to contend with, but it's dry. Temperatures feel good, and those clouds are going to bring the chance for rain before we get in on that thunderstorm potential. So looking at our satellite radar, you can see the rain is still well south of us. Right now, we're dry and relatively quiet. We have winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the 40s for most. Right now, 43 degrees at the lakefront, 47 at Midway and O'Hare, 38 in DeKalb, 43 at Woodstock and LaSalle. So here's your future cast. I wanted to show you this again because we didn't get through the whole thing, and I want to show you the timing of the wet weather. So lunchtime hour, temperatures in the low 50s. We're going to have a very mild day, and these temperatures are going to continue to climb to the mid and upper 50s by this evening, by the way. Chance for rain starts right around that time south of Chicago. So lunchtime, you might be seeing some light rain. But then as we get to 3 and 4 o'clock, more widespread rain showers and even some moderate to heavy rainfall is expected at that time. But here we get in 7:15, and this is when we could see some gustier winds associated with these thunderstorms. The best chance for a gusty, damaging wind is going to be south of I-80 and southeast of I-80. With that, temperatures are still going to be mild in the upper 50s until we get into early tomorrow. So the temperatures, I mentioned how they're going to be climbing through this evening. Well, we hit our peak overnight, and then tomorrow temperatures, they start to drop. 6 a.m. on your Friday, and we already are seeing drying skies, still cloudy, but temperatures are back down to the upper 40s. And notice as we get to lunchtime hour on your Friday, we're back down to the mid 40s. These cold temperatures are going to continue into the weekend, and that's why we could see some snowfall on Saturday for the all-important Bears game. A full check of your 7-day outlook is coming up.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, a little snowfall during Bears-Packers seems archetypal.
That's right. As long as the fans are comfortable,
yeah,
that's all I care
not
about.
Not be too bad, exactly.
Right.
All right, here's a quick look at what is coming up a little later for us on Chicago Now. The U.S. just released their new diet guidelines, putting meat, dairy, and vegetables at the top of the food pyramid. A dietitian is going to join us to explain how that'll affect our health. And this is the only movie people are toasting with Malort. We're going to talk with director Sam Hayes about his coming-of-age movie shot right here in Chicago, starring Odessa A'zion. Plus, the Bears-Packers playoff game Saturday is the most expensive wild card game on record. What to do if you are looking for last-minute tickets? Oh, man, that could be an uphill battle. We're going to find out at 10 a.m. on Chicago Now. We hope you'll join us.
These are the moments they fight for.
Welcome back. 8:23 here in Chicago, but we are taking a live look at Minneapolis. You can see we've been reporting all morning that tensions are really flaring up there in the wake of this shooting involving an ICE agent and what is reported to be a U.S. citizen, a 37-year-old woman who was shot and killed while driving her car. There's conflicting narratives emerging about who was at fault in that interaction and whether use of force was justified. And as we take a live look on the ground, you can see a growing group of protesters there and what look like federal agents. We should point out that Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota is preparing the National Guard in the event of any unrest. We will keep an eye on the unfolding situation all morning up in Minneapolis. And as I mentioned, city officials have identified that woman as 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good.
Now, Walz has not deployed the National Guard yet, but he says this is a precaution in case anti-ICE protests turn violent. And last night, if you were watching any live feeds from the city, you saw hundreds of people, protesters on the streets there. Asher Red is in Minneapolis right now. Asher, there's a lot of debate over if the shooting of this woman was justified. Is there any new information about this morning?
Well, Anthony and Natalie, a few blocks away from where I'm standing right now at the federal building, there are protests going on. We have a crew out there as well telling me that pepper balls have been deployed by some of the law enforcement there. I've seen some emergency vehicles whizzing by in that direction. And also, there's also fights that have had to be broken up, according to our crew that's on the ground. But the Department of Homeland Security is defending this ICE agent, saying that he acted in self-defense, but the governor and the city's mayor just aren't buying that. Immigration officers were in a neighborhood in South Minneapolis yesterday conducting targeted operations when 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good appeared to block them in with her car. When agents told Good to get out of the car, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says she tried to run them over, and that's when one of the ICE agents shot and killed Good through the windshield. Secretary Noem is calling Good a domestic terrorist and accusing her of using her car as a weapon.
You know, people need to stop using their vehicles as weapons. This domestic act of terrorism to use your vehicle to try to kill law enforcement officers is going to stop. And I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism.
But some city officials are calling this murder, saying the ICE agent should be arrested and charged. Within hours of the shooting, hundreds of anti-ICE protesters showed up at the scene, many of them throwing snow and chunks of ice at law enforcement. Mayor Jacob Frey is calling the Trump administration's narrative BS, and he didn't use the acronym.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull to ICE. Get out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
This is just devastating for the community. We can't have people getting murdered in our streets. It's just not right.
And this shooting happened just days after the DHS deployed about 2,000 additional officers to the Minneapolis area. But local and state leaders are telling people who want to protest to do so peacefully. The National Guard is on standby as a precaution in case things turn violent. Back to you.
Asher Red live in Minneapolis for us. Thank you so much, Asher. And we turn back now to Chicago and the weather forecast here as we've enjoyed some really mild days, Caitlin.
And it's going to be nice and warm today, but we have the chance for rain. Also a few gusty thunderstorms this evening. Coming up, I'll time out that potential for wet weather, and we'll take a look at that Bears forecast ahead. First, though, checking in with Gabby to see what she's getting into this morning.
Hey, Caitlin, you just learned about this on Chicago Now, and I know I never steer the audience wrong, right? I have a brand new sport that's new to Chicago, not new to the world. It's fast growing. This might make it seem a little more serious, but even beginners can start. We're at Union Padel Club in Fulton Market, the brand new space that's opening today. You can get day passes, memberships. We'll tell you all about it. Plus, we'll get our hand in with the racket coming up.
This is Wolves Hockey.
Welcome back. We just told you about the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis. The tensions flaring there. Protesters on the ground this morning. Now, federal immigration tactics are under scrutiny here in Chicago.
Yeah, once again, Roseanne has more on a new initiative by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Hi, Roseanne.
Good morning. The former mayor is set to launch the ICE Accountability Project today, but it does come as the nation's focused on that deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis. Well, Chicago has had its own shootings at the hands of ICE. Let's start there. 31-year-old Marimar Martinez, who is seen here going to court, was shot by a federal agent in Brighton Park in early October, accused of ramming her car into an agent's vehicle. She and her passenger were indicted for assault and attempted murder, but those charges were later dropped. A federal agent shot and killed an undocumented immigrant in Franklin Park in September. That was 38-year-old Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. The agent claimed that he had been dragged by Gonzalez's car as Gonzalez tried to flee. Agents said he was being targeted for a record of reckless driving. Well, Lightfoot weighed in on the shooting in Minneapolis just last night with the caveat that a video is just a snapshot and does not always provide context.
The reality is that that video is one of the most disturbing things that I've ever seen. As you are probably well aware, police departments across the country, really going back to the 90s and the early 2000s, have prohibited shooting into moving vehicles for the very reasons that you saw.
Lightfoot says that agents could easily have, using her license plate number, tracked her down and, as she put it, do the proper thing and make an arrest, get a warrant and make an arrest. That, of course, is not what happened. Now, back to the incidents that are unfolding in Chicago, or have unfolded. She's going to be talking about her ICE Accountability Project and, as she put it, unmasking ICE agents at a news conference at 10 a.m., and we'll be covering that. Roseanne Tejas, Fox Chicago.
Okay, Roseanne, thank you for that update. Keep us posted. Meantime, President Donald Trump says he expects the U.S. to maintain direct oversight of Venezuela for years.
Yeah, his comments to the New York Times follow the announcement that his administration plans to effectively assume control of selling Venezuela's oil. The U.S. seized 2 more sanctioned oil tankers on Wednesday, one in the North Atlantic and one in the Caribbean.
The family of a missing Chicago public school teacher says police have found her car. 53-year-old Linda Brown has been missing for 5 days. Her husband says they went to bed Friday. She was gone when he woke up on Saturday. Brown's family says she does have a history of mental illness, but has never disappeared like this.
City Council Public Safety Committee here in Chicago has voted to move forward on a new SNAP curfew ordinance that would give the police superintendent the power to declare a curfew at any time in any place. This is to address those violent teen takeovers. Now, if the police decided to move forward with this, they would have to get approval from the mayor's office. The whole city council has to vote on this ordinance, and it goes to them next. And you will recall, Anthony, that the city council did approve something like this, but the mayor issued a veto.
Right. We'll keep an eye on that and how that plays out. But for now, we're sending it back over to Caitlin Cody for an updated look at this forecast. Hey, Caitlin.
Let's check in on those peaks of sunshine, shall we? Satellite showing a few breaks, especially near O'Hare, north of Aurora. You've got the beautiful sunny skies this morning. Kankakee County stretching into LaSalle, even near Morris. You have some breaks in the cloud cover. Northwest Indiana, you're looking mostly cloudy. But today, we do have those warm temperatures on the way, upper 50s by this evening. But we also have the chance for rain this afternoon and thunderstorms this evening that could be quite gusty. So let's talk about current conditions. Right now, it's 45 degrees at the lakefront, 47 at O'Hare, and 40 in Aurora, 38 in DeKalb. Temperatures in Northwest Indiana ranging from 37 in Valpo to the mid-40s in Gary. Here's your day planner. Right around 50 by 11, 1 p.m., 53. Now, we do have the chance for rain moving in around lunchtime, especially south of Chicago, but that rain will be pushing in and covering most of Chicagoland by mid-afternoon. 3:45, we have the rain showers. Now, I mentioned that potential for some gusty winds. That time frame is going to be closer to this evening. You can see the dark red shade there, especially southeast of Chicago, where we could have a few severe thunderstorms because of the damaging wind potential. Then we head on into tomorrow, and we are going to be drying out pretty fast, but the temperatures are actually going to be dropping through the day instead of climbing. So our peak temperature is actually going to be tonight, and then tomorrow we're seeing those temperatures drop. And as we head on into the weekend, that means for your Saturday, we could see a rain-snow mix turning over to light snow just in time for the Bears game. Back to you.
Okay, Caitlin, thank you so much. Speaking of the Bears, Bears need your help keeping the city warm this winter. At 9 o'clock, we're going to speak with Bears legend Jerry Azuma about their 37th annual coat drive. We're partnering up with them on that and why the need this year is greater than ever.
It's the final word.
Well, what do you get when you combine tennis, squash, and pickleball? You get the fastest growing sport in the world right now.
Yeah, this is replacing pickleball. Apparently, it's called Padel. And Gabriella Primus is live at a brand new facility here in the city where everyone is hooked on this new trend. Gabriella, take it away.
Hey, you know what, guys? This is an awesome space. You saw a little bit here in my tees. Yeah, Padel. You have to say it with a little bit of a flair, right? Because it's happening worldwide. Usually Chicago's early on the game, but for this, you know what? We're a little late to the game.
Late, yes.
I'm with Fabian. Fabian, you are co-founder here of Union Padel Club, brand new to Fulton Market, opening today. Tell us a little bit, and we got to make it quick because we're going to be playing here in the 9 o'clock hour. But how does this game work? Because a lot of people think tennis, they think pickleball when they're first seeing it, but it's with a twist.
It's a mix of tennis, pickleball, and squash. So it's tennis scoring, it's played in doubles like pickleball, but you're able to use the walls, which makes it fun, active, and also intense.
You know what? I'm glad that we have some models here doing it the right way, but people might be intimidated by how fast this ball is going. There's beginner levels, right, if they want to come?
Yes, yes. It looks a little bit intimidating, but it's actually very easy to pick up. And we have clinics and lessons to start getting people into the mood. So there's a lot of strategy.
Okay, again, we're going to be on the court here in the 9 o'clock hour, but I want to show that this isn't just courts, right? Picking up a new sport. This is recovery. There's a social aspect to Union Padel Club. Let's kind of give people a walkthrough, starting with the recovery recovery room that's right here. That looks like my cup of tea. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to bring more than just sports. We wanted to build an entire social experience and build community around Padel. So we designed all of these areas to serve as the Padel Club so that people can hang out before playing and stay after playing, use our recovery room with our cold plunge, our saunas, our showers. We have a full bar. We have a pro shop, co-working spaces, social lounges. Really kind of like a third home is what we want to create here.
You know, and it makes total sense. You told me that Padel, you know, has been played around Chicago, but just not to this extent. So there has been a need for a space like this.
Yeah, there has been a need. There has been a need in the center of Chicago to just bring it closer to people, make it more accessible to people, and just, you know, share the fun of the sport.
Yeah, okay, and also we mentioned that bar that's here and that like co-working space. I see people already today on the opening day like sitting around chatting and they're not even with your team. How much does this mean to be able to bring something new to Chicagoans who are already so passionate about their hobbies?
Yes, it's funny because it's not new to me because I've been playing it forever, so it's exciting to bring something that I've been so close to Chicago because it's a great sport. It's already a global sport that is just starting to get popular and gaining momentum in the U.S.
You know, let's talk about it because it started in Mexico, you said.
It started in Mexico.
Okay, and now it's just kind of grown. I'm going to have it right here. And then it's kind of just made its way into the U.S. and such. Do you think I'm going to do an okay job when I get into the court?
I think you'll do a phenomenal job. It's very easy to pick up. It's just learning about where to place yourself on the walls, and then you'll be a pro.
And there's a pro league already nationwide.
Yeah, there's a pro league globally. There's a U.S. pro league as well that started a few years ago. So it's starting to get really popular.
Okay, I love it. We're going to be talking to one of those professionals here in the 9 o'clock hour, guys. Smoothies, drinks, you name it. Like they said, there's a co-working space, the recovery place, Union Padel Club just opening in Fulton Market. Yeah, I could get used to this, I would say. Aesthetically pleasing, so Chicago, and something new.
Thanks, Gabby. Only if she could do her traffic reports from there,
right,
you know?
Right.
Because
Get
it's
a
got
beverage.
the co-working space.
Right.
Yeah.
Play some Padel in between her hits. I like it a lot. Caitlin Cody, she's cozy inside, but it's actually not too bad temperature-wise.
Yeah.
Correct?
It feels really good outside this morning, which, by the way, Padel, we had them on Chicago Now. Those paddles are so fun.
Yeah.
And the ball is lighter. There's less air in it. So if you haven't played, highly encourage you to go try it. Temperature-wise, as Anthony mentioned, this morning, it actually is quite mild. We are 13 degrees warmer now compared to yesterday at this time. 14 degrees warmer at O'Hare, 12 degrees warmer from Midway to Joliet. Temperatures today will continue to climb all the way through until midnight tonight. We're going to be in the upper 50s tonight, but we have the chance for rain and the chance for some gustier thunderstorms as we work our way through the day. So let's talk about the actual temperature outside. Right now, it's 45 degrees at the lakefront, 47 at O'Hare to Midway, upper 30s in western areas like DeKalb. Looking at our futurecast, though, unfortunately, we're not holding on to the beautiful conditions that we have this morning. It's quiet to start, but scattered shower activity is starting by midday southwest. And then as we get to mid-afternoon, 2:30, and all of us are getting in on that potential for rain, with some moderate to heavy rainfall possible, especially as we work our way into the evening. And during this time frame, between about 6 and 10 p.m., we could see a few gusty thunderstorms. We could have some damaging winds associated with the thunderstorm potential moving through. Overnight tonight, a drying trend, and by 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, we already see mostly dry conditions. Tomorrow, temperatures are going in the opposite direction. We're dropping. After tonight and early tomorrow, temperatures are going down. So that winter feel is back just in time for your weekend plans, including for the Bears game. So Saturday evening, kickoff right around 7, hovering at about 32. Temperatures dropping down to the mid-20s by the final with a chance for some light snow around. Natalie.
Caitlin, you'll get excited about this. Every Thursday at Fox 32 Chicago is For the Dogs, and Jill Steyer is with Paws Chicago. She is here to talk about their new campaign to get pets in loving homes, and all you have to do is order some pizza. But I know that the big question from you at home this morning is, who did Jill bring in? So Jill, tell us about who you have here.
This is Ramsey. He is a 2-month-old mixed breed puppy. He is so much fun. He loves toys. He loves to snuggle. He's great on walks. he's just a great puppy.
And if people are interested in Ramsey, what do they need to do?
If you're interested in Ramsey or one of his friends at Paws, you can fill out an application online, our compatibility quiz, make an appointment to come on in and you meet Ramsey or one of our other pets. If you have a dog at home, be sure to bring it, and we'd love to see you at the adoption center.
He obviously has a lot of self-control because we have a delicious pizza sitting right in front of us. And this is part of Paws Chicago's annual Slice to Meet You campaign. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is the 4th year of the Slice to Meet You campaign. This pizza is extra special to us. It's our January kickoff, and it is crafted by local legend CM Punk in memory of his Paws alum Larry, who he had for 10 years. Unfortunately, Larry passed away at the end of last year, but we are so excited to, celebrate his memory with a pizza that is raising funds for pets just like him.
It looks just like a regular pepperoni pizza, but there has to be more to it. So what makes it really special?
So this pizza has some of Hot Doug's Italian sausage on it, Ezzo's Cup and Char pepperoni, and is finished off with pecorino cheese. So it's a little bit upscale, but it is, a classic pizza that I think people will love and celebrates a great dog.
And they have to call Peace, right, in order to get this. And is it just through the month of January and then a new pizza will debut in February?
Yes, so you can order online or over the phone or go into Peace and get the Larry. This pizza
Larry!
Yeah, this pizza will be available through February 7th, and then we have a new chef taking over in February and then another one in March.
How fun. So super fun. And then we understand that the dog that was featured last week here on Good Day Chicago got adopted. So tell us about that.
Yes, a great adoption moment, going home to a loving family. We're so happy. We love sending the puppies home with their forever family.
All right. And then people are more interested in like volunteer opportunities, because I'm sure a lot of people at home have a New Year's resolution that has to do with helping out more in the community. What are you in need of, and where can people go to fill out a volunteer form?
Yes, we always need volunteers at Paws. Volunteers touch everything we do. They're across all of our locations, adoption center, medical center, out in the community, at events. So you can go online, pawschicago.org, and fill out an application to volunteer, and you will be put right into our system. You'll do your orientation, and then you're good to go.
I also want to encourage people, too. I know we're talking about the Slice to Meet You campaign, but, oftentimes in January, I like to look at my year and think, okay, what time do I want to set aside for special events? And you guys have so many throughout the year that are really spectacular. The next one, I believe, is Animal Magnetism.
Yes.
And is that coming up in March or April?
It's Friday, April 10th.
That I didn't know that you would have the date. It's top of mind. That's amazing.
Oh, yes.
And then we also have the Paws Chicago Beach Party and, of course, the Fur Ball and the 5K. So head on over to the website. Put that in your calendar now so you can attend this year. Thank you so much, Jill.
Thanks, Natalie.
More Good Day Chicago ahead. Stay with us.
You're starting to light in here.
It is now 8:49. The Trump administration says it's eyeing new efforts to tackle surging housing costs.
Yes, the president says his administration is moving to ban any large institutional investors from scooping up and buying single-family homes in a bid to reduce prices here. Trump posted on Truth Social that he is immediately taking steps to implement this measure. It's not clear yet if he can do so without congressional approval.
And there are new efforts to save a historic building in Geneva. Developers plan to tear down Alexander Brothers blacksmith shop to make way for a new apartment complex. But there's some controversy here because although it's dilapidated, the shop dates back to the 1840s and is the oldest surviving industrial building in Geneva. This is the third time officials have tried to demolish it. City Council will discuss next steps on Monday.
The Bears could be getting some key players back from injury just in time for Saturday's wild card matchup against the Packers. Both Rome Odunze and Kyler Gordon likely to return after missing multiple games with injuries. Players who haven't been to the playoffs have had to adopt an entirely new mindset before Saturday.
You could tell guys are laser focused, talking, communicating, being detailed, and in practice, the energy's going up.
Mentally, I know we're ready. I know physically it's something that we're going to see on Sunday. It's one thing to talk about it, but we got to go out there and execute and be about it. So that's all we're focused on right now.
You can watch Bears-Packers on Saturday, 7 p.m. right here on Fox Chicago. Our coverage begins with Bears Game Day live at 12:30. Stay with us after the game as well. We've got full post-game coverage on your home for the Bears, Fox Chicago. Hopefully we will be checking in live with our reporters in a celebratory locker room.
That's right, Anthony. Yes. And speaking of the Bears, do you know somebody who looks like head coach Ben Johnson? Well, Bedford Park is doing a look-alike contest tonight. It's from 5 to 8 at Wintrust Sports Complex. Any age can enter, which I love because we could see toddlers to teens.
That's right.
Just show up, looking the part. First place wins a $1,000 Visa gift card, so that definitely makes it worth it. Plus year-long freebies. Second and third place also take home cash and other prizes. You know, if I had a husband that looked like Ben Johnson, you know who we should enter? It popped into my mind. Jake Hamilton.
That's right, Jake Hamilton.
Because with a hat,
you put a hat on Jake and maybe some, those headphones with the mouthpiece that he wears, and maybe tear your shirt off, and hey, you can get a $1,000 cash prize.
Listen, guys, here's the difference is that nobody wants to see me take my shirt off at work. So that's the reason I would not win the Ben Johnson lookalike. I know, Staley, I know. Well, Staley, you've got the abs, baby. Guys, we are live in the loop where we are hearing two words a lot this morning, and those words are bear down. We're going to tell you about some Bears activations happening all around the city. You can come out and get ready for the big game coming up on Good Day Chicago.
Welcome back, 8:54 on your Thursday morning. Chicago Bears, if you haven't heard, they're hosting their first playoff game at home since the 2018 season.
But they're bringing that energy beyond Soldier Field. Jake is live with all the stuff to check out before the big game on Saturday. Jake, who do you got there?
That's right, guys. We got Staley here. Why wouldn't we have Staley here? Here's the thing. Staley is staying out of hibernation in January because the Bears are still rolling, baby. We are live out here in the Loop. We're actually at 625 West Adams. And take a look behind me. One of the many different sort of fan activations that they're doing around the city today through Saturday. They got a pretty epic ice sculpture, which I'm not going to lie, I don't know how well it's going to hold up with these warm temperatures, but here's the part that matters right there. Playoffs, because that's the word everyone's talking about. Of course, the big game happening right here on Fox 32 on Saturday. Let me ask you, Staley, are you going to be at the game? Of course, right? Let me ask you this: Can you score your favorite reporter 2 tickets to the game? So yeah, right, okay, yeah, you'll text me. All right, so Staley's going to text me. Here, so let me tell you everything you need to go. You go to chicagobears.com. There's going to be a list of all the different fan activations that are happening. Some are going to be happening around downtown. Some are going to be happening at Soldier Field on Saturday. But here's what I can tell you. The vibes. People walking to work, people walking around downtown, they see that word playoffs, they see Staley, and a smile comes across their face because we are still celebrating the Bears in January, and that's what matters. So we're going to tell you everything you need to know more about this. You go to the website, chicagobears.com, and of course, oh, thank you. One more. Oh, the smooches, I love it. All right, the Bears, Packers, Saturday, 7 o'clock, right here on Fox 32. Staley's got so we've got Anthony and Natalie back in studio, so we need a couple extra tickets, and they've got +1s. So are you good? He's going to text everybody. But only one of us gets smooches.
I know, we're jealous,
smooches.
Jake.
But we all
it's
get
the 4 of us.
right. We all get the Lamaze moves, though, that I appreciate with the hip swivels. Thank you.
Yes,
I think they want the shirt off one more time, Staley.
No,
let's see the abs.
Boom! There it is. There it is. Give the people what they want.
Bearing it
Look
all.
at, oh, come on.
Thank you.
See, Staley does that, and it's fine. I do that, and I get called to HR.
That's right. That's right.
I can't
Staley
tell
can
who's
twerk.
cuter, though.
I know,
Jake or Staley.
They're
It's
both
a toss-up.
adorable. They're going to have a great date on Saturday night. Jake mentioned that, of course you can catch the game right here on Fox Chicago Saturday night, but Game Day Live kicks off way earlier. 12:30 we go on the air, and then, of course, we're going to have post-game coverage immediately after from hopefully the winning locker room. Get Ben Johnson, get Caleb Williams, Romo Dunze. They're all going to have huge games Saturday. It's historic. First time playoff game at Soldier Field since 2018.
I know. And I like to tune in for the strategy because we're planning on winning. But if we do win, we talk about what comes next, the strategy for the Bears, the team, and a potential whoever they're playing against, competitor. And then, if not, just what comes next in general. A lot of people are wondering, we're going to lose players, keep players.
I liked what Barstool Eddie said a short time ago. He never expected the Bears with a brand new head coach and turning around after the Matt Eberflus era to be where they are right now. So there's a lot of positives to take no matter what. I'm nervous already. I get nervous for these big games, All right, we got more Good Day Chicago in just a moment. Our 9 o'clock hour kicks off, so stay with us.
Ever wonder why your house is so cold?